Hello everyone and welcome to a game. This is a match between Soin versus FC3S. I know I'm gonna say focus a couple of times just because my brain just works that way. My brain tries to make sense of what it sees and often misreads. I need to slow down. Hopefully, don't make any mistakes. You can always say that I agree. Such strategies. So we were talking about Necro Wagon and whether or not it's a viable strategy in between games. And Nemo had said, had stated that, you know what, Necro Wagon shouldn't be a viable strategy. It's too one-dimensional. It's very easily countered, so on and so forth. And and I do agree that it is easily countered, but it is a strategy that Necro Wagon that you develop in secret. And it's kind of like when you go for chimeras as a night elf. As soon as you go for your first chimera, you don't always immediately bring it out onto the battlefield. Same thing with Wind Riders as an orc player. You don't always bring it immediately out onto the battlefield. You wait until you have 12, 16 supply of that unit, and then you bring it out and you hope the surprise factor offsets and throws your opponent off. Now there is a risk when you do that, and because you are basically setting aside 16 supply, which could push you into low upkeep or keep your main army significantly smaller, and you could be pushed into low upkeep and not actually be fighting with those units. So if you get out caught out in the middle of the map somewhere, or you're caught in play, your army is going to be that much smaller and you're going to be that much weaker. So the answer to that is, well, you just need to scout better. And that's always true. If you just scouted better, you would have been fine. But at the same time, if you're constantly spending your time scouting and you are not spending your time looking, actually playing the game by creeping or doing all of those things, then that's a little bit of bad news. That's one of the reasons why I like WarCraft 3. Oh, or I won't say I like WarCraft 3 more than I like StarCraft 2 and Brood War. I'll say this though: one of the reasons why I enjoy WarCraft 3 is because there are creeps on the map. There is always something to do that isn't necessarily forcing you to engage against your opponent. Creeping the map, creeping out two creep camps while your opponent is focusing on scouting you out. Well, if there's nothing secret or sneaky to actually be scouted out, you creeping those creep camps gives you the advantage. So all things to consider on how you are using your time. Coming back around, we are playing on Concealed Hill. Pretty standard openings coming in so far. FC3S actually decided to open up with Entangle first instead of the Forces of Nature. A little bit, instead of those Trents, a little bit unorthodox, since those Trents help you creep out and those creep camps faster. We did see an Entangle go down onto a Footman, but that Footman just enjoying himself at the spa now with no real issue. Off to the north, Archmage sitting at level 2, gonna finish off this Null Overseer creep camp. Is gonna get to level 3 after this last Null is getting taken down? I do believe so. Archmage now sitting at level 3 has Claws of Attack +5, and will get a little bit of bonus experience as well, taking down that Trent. Footman trying to head over to the Fountain of Health. Yeah, there's an Entangle. We're going to see one dead Footman. This Keeper of the Grove going to try and run back down after this Footman as well. And, well, it looks as though Soin served up a bit of experience for FC3S on a silver platter, taking down two Footmen that were low on hit points. If it's FFA, there's something to do if all the creep camp is finished. Play Among Us. Discussion. Yep, pretty much. Who are you going to ally with temporarily, and are you going to and how strong are you going to let your opponent be? And yeah, in free for all, some of the fun strategies in free for all is like, how much do you commit to fighting off the agreed opponent, right? Like, if it becomes a 2v1 in free for all, you don't, like, both players are thinking to themselves, you know what, I need to destroy this one guy, but I really hope my partner loses more. than I do, so then I can finish off my opponent. All right, Archmage now looking to pull back. Once again, we are seeing the Town Hall already up and running. Arcane Tower is already there to try and discourage any force of nature harassment. Brood War at least have great 2v2, but SC2 only 1v1. Yeah, I liked Brood War, Brood War BGH. Always a fun, just absolutely fun trying to macro and control those large armies. As we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove coming across with an entangle here, Null Overseer just getting absolutely choked to death right now as the Null Assassins are getting taken out, which I find sad. Yeah, I liked Random Team in Warcraft 3. I got really high in Random Team Warcraft 3 back in 2000, from 2003 to 2005, 2006. I got I think in the top, I think I got up to top 20, ranked 25, not level 25, ranked 25 in Random Team way back in the day. We are looking at an Ancient of Lore. What is this? FC3S building an Ancient of Lore off over here, and this looks like it's trying to be some sort of hidden tech, but it's right in the middle of an expansion location that is currently getting scouted out. It looks like it will end up getting canceled, and now a Tree of Life off to the side here gonna go ahead and put pressure as well. The Tree of Life should already be trying to eat up some trees to try and replenish their cell count. Meanwhile, Archer is trying to belt down Demon Hunter as the second hero coming in from FC3S, making short work. Well, trying to minimize that Archmage, but unable to stop the second Water Elemental from coming into play. Keeper of the Grove will end up getting the last hit there, or I believe we'll get the last hit there. There's Dust of Appearance. Archers are all trying to hide. Are we going to perhaps see another mana burn? There's another mana burn onto the Archmage. Archer trying to, well, retreat back. Is he going to be able to do that? Archmage could turn back around, finish off. No, gets the attack off on the Archer. Archer still falls to the Water Elemental. Natural regeneration not enough, as Soin now doing a great job shutting down FC3S. We are going to be looking at an Entangle. That is a level 3 Entangle. That should be enough damage to finish off one Footman here, but there are no Moonwells nearby to get in even more kills. Meanwhile, where is the Archmage? Archmage coming back around. Demon Hunter may try and get in another mana burn again. Keeper of the Grove still a little bit low on mana. Demon Hunter going to make its way back over. Archer trying to run away from that Archmage. However, I believe the Archmage, no, doesn't have Boots of Speed, but a Moonwell was in close enough to cause a little bit of, well, for the save. All right, Keeper of the Grove sitting at 61 mana. There is another mana burn coming across. There goes a potion of mana right there, as the Keeper of the Grove going to be able to get some damage off onto this Footman right here. And it looks like, well, we are pretty much just trading potions of mana for Footman, and that's exactly what FC3 really wants to do. Clarity Potion now being used could get another Footman off right there. And are we going to see an Entangle? No Entangle. That's what I thought we were waiting for. Keeper of the Grove now chasing after once again. All right, coming back around. Let's take a look at this. Keep a Demon Hunter still going after those units. Keeper of the Grove could try and get an Entangle off. Still just getting auto attacks instead of the Entangle, as the Wisp are going to be able to jump inside that gold mine here. Soin, I think, is overstaying his welcome. We should be looking at another mana burn. There is an Entangle. Staff of Teleportation, however, means that we are going to be seeing one Archmage escape, but, well, two Footmen perhaps getting taken down again. There is that second Entangle once more, and that Footman has seen better days. Soin now down to 43 supply after losing, well, a handful of Footmen. Keeper of the Grove sitting at 3. A Demon Hunter sitting at 1. Mountain Archmage is at 3. Mountain King is at 1. Economically speaking, we are pretty much neck and neck, and I think the heater just kicked on. That means my house is below 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, no wonder I am cold. Dryads coming back around here. We're going to see all of these units taken down. Rock Golem gonna fall off here in just a moment. Forest Troll Trapper and Forest Troll High Priest. We're having a bit of a cold snap here too, yeah. There's like a polar cold snap, and it's actually 10 degrees colder than it's supposed to be. Keeper of the Grove trapped between a bunch of trees here, and really correctly decides to scroll of Town Portal out right there. And now I have to look up again what 66 degree Fahrenheit. It's maybe it's like 20. I think it's about 20 degrees Celsius. If I'm, or is it 19? All right. Just under 19, yeah, just under 19 C. So it's not really cold. It's just like if the week before you were experiencing like 95 degrees Celsius because of a heat wave, and then it jumps down to 66. That's a pretty big difference. All right. All right, coming back around, Keeper of the Grove and the Demon Hunter are going to finish off this creep camp here. Archmage now going to try to make their way over. It looks as though the creep camp is going to be left alone. Rifleman and Priest, well, talk about being caught in a rough spot here. The Ogre Magi is still doing a lot of chasing. We should perhaps just have seen an entangle on that Ogre Magi and then finish it off with the Dryads to get the experience and perhaps whatever tome it is going to drop. America, you go Metric, and I'm going to use Kelvin instead. All right, level 2 now on that Mountain King. Tome of Agility +2 now dropped once again. Well, I don't know. Kelvin makes sense in scientific terms if you need to know about absolute zero, but yeah. Then again, I don't know. Americans fear change at the same time, but I don't know. America, with all of the crazy things that are going on in America right now, I still love the country, even just wishing that the people can have differing opinions and still get along without having to threaten with guns or threaten protests that ultimately end up turning into rioting as people hijack protests. Archmage gonna get up very close to level 4 here. Mountain King sitting at level 2. Forest Troll, Berserker, Forest Troll, High Priest, Forest Troll, Berserker, all gonna get cleared up. Yeah, 23. Yeah, 23.2. Yeah, I like. Yeah, 22 to 24 seems comfortable to, or 22 to 25 seems comfortable to me. If I was a more penny pinching Asian American, I might like, no, 80 degrees or 26, 27 degrees. That's what I'm going to set my AC at. No. I have a child who would just cry and scream being a baby. I'm not going to subject myself to such torture. All right. Tree of Life now coming and taking a lot. I think there's an absolute hot 2. I don't know if there's an absolute heat. There's the is it possible to actually just have maximum heat? And at which point, how could you actually measure that? Because anything under that maximum heat would actually melt, right? Because it's absolute, unless you're saying there's a state of matter that there's a way to measure that. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. Demon Hunter going to go ahead and continue to fight once more. We are looking at the Mountain King in that frontline spot. Does have Vampiric Aura, slow across multiple bears. The bears are trying to make their way over, but, well, the Thunderclap from the Mountain King coupled with the slow from the sorceresses are keeping things, well, keeping a little bit of distance between these units. Paladin gets taken down. Units are now trying to back up, but all of a sudden we're looking at Soin backing himself up into a bunch of creeps, which is not a good spot to be in. Mountain King transferring that Scroll of Town Portal. Archmage going to be able to survive. Staff of Preservation saving a bear right there as the Demon Hunter sits at level 3. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 4. And now going to head over to the Fountain of Health to try and regenerate some of those hit points. All right, let's continue to make its way here. I think there's we love America until you get sick and goes to the hospital. And Tome of Intelligence +2 picked up by the Keeper of the Grove. Well, you know what? Every government type has its own problems. There's a lot of knock on healthcare in America, but we also have some of the lowest tax rates compared to a lot of the other countries out there, right? Like, I was reading up, back when my wife and I were having our third child, like I was getting news articles talking about how a lot of Europe has 9-month, 12-month protected paternity leave, full paid. I'm like, wow, that's great. How did they pay for it? And then I was like, oh yeah, the tax rate in that country is like 47%. And at that point, I'm like, well, why don't you just not tax me that extra 20% and I can save my money and for when that time comes, when I have my child. And that makes sense to me, right? And no form of government is perfect. And I think that's one of the things that Americans often forget. Being able to vote left and right and switch between two forms of government is actually one of the things that helps keep checks and balances in American politics. But you know what? I don't want to talk about politics. This is Warcraft 3. I might get too upset later on. This poor game is so sad, forgotten. Well, back to the game. Yes, let's go back to the game here. Archmage, Mountain King, 4-3-1. No one has taken that central important. Well, nope, I take it back. Solon now looking to take that important centered concealed hill right in the middle of the map. Is he going to be able to be king of the hill as the main gold mines have about 5 and 10 minutes of mining left? With that said, at some point, we're going to have to see FC3 really start putting in some pressure on these units. Dryads, Mountain Giants now making their way over. I don't see that many Knights here. Mana burn onto a Sorceress right there as well. This actual funnel is a little bit strange. Wisp need to be making their way through. There's a Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter. Wait, we're going to see the Dryads now actually get splattered in the back line there as they're taking a lot of damage. All right, Mortar teams, however, they're not getting pressured by the Mountain King. Not quite sure why. Mountain King still staying alive here, still has a Scroll of Healing. Level 2 now on the Paladin, as we see another Scroll of Healing being used once again, trying to create a little bit of separation. However, there's simply too many Druids of the Claw, and these Mortar teams are going to end up starting to get taken down. All right, trying to back themselves up into a location. Scroll of Town Portal. Priest, are they going to get some Dispel Magic off? Yes, they are, but a Priest still gets taken down as, well, a low hit point Rifleman able to survive down to 2 hit points. Orb of Venom not finishing it off. You're the king. Well, I don't vote for you. Yep. Like, who made you king? I never voted for you. Monty Python. All right. Archmage coming around again. A Mountain King right there. But then again, I think Americans' fascination with the royal family, forgetting that the royal family in Britain, although they do have a lot of influence, they're not truly like political, like the kings of old, right? I think that is often forgotten. All right, back. No more politics. Back to this game. All right, Scout Tower is trying to be placed down here. It looks as though FC3S realizes that this center location is going to be incredibly important. Meanwhile, back across over here, Peasants now going to be making their way over. 5-4 going up against a 4-3-2. If the Demon Hunter gets up to level 5 and the Keeper of the Grove get up to level 5, if the Demon Hunter gets up to level 5, that will shift the power over to the Night Elf army until the Archmage until the Paladin gets up to level 3 and the Archmage gets up to level 5. That's my take on hero levels there. There goes a Stormbolt straight up onto that Demon Hunter, trying to prevent any more mana burns. However, detonation still landing all across. Mountain King sitting at level 2. And this is a situation where you wonder if the Mountain King actually had Thunderclap and tried to slow down the bears, would it have been better? Mountain King going for Bash instead of going for Thunderclap and then having a lot of his mana burned off, unfortunately, as we're going to see some Mortar teams now go after those Druids of the Claw. Staff of Frustration could be in play once more. Same thing with the Staff of Sanctuary as the Archmage trying to back up. Inner Fire protecting a lot of these units as well. And this is an additional 7 armor between the Inner Fire and that Devotion Aura. Knights now continuing to try and retreat back once more. Demon Hunter sitting at level 4. Water Elementals in position. There's a round of attack. The Mortar teams trying to get some damage down, but the fragmentation shards no longer nearly as powerful, unable to slow down all of these or finish off any of these units right now. All right, I see one Knight in the mix here. We are looking at a detonation, Fountain of Health, having a fight at the Fountain of Health. You need to actually create some distance and separation, making sure that your opponent does not get the benefit of the Fountain of Health if you are trying to fight at a Fountain of Health, especially when your opponent's units are bears, and well, the percentage regeneration is better on bears than on all of these sorceresses and priests in the back. Mountain King still trying to make their way over. A Mountain Giant in the midst of all of these units. Archmage sitting at level 4. Are we going to see, yes, one bear does get taken down, and all of the rest of the units able to teleport out. Difficult to look at the corpses on the ground to see how many bears are lost as the Mortar teams are able to just splat that bear. There is a low hit point Druid of the Claw. I'm not quite sure if that was the bear that I thought that was died right there. There go the nerf detonations. Humans should fight in a narrow. Well, the humans should be fighting in a narrow choke point, but at the same time, well, he doesn't have a very strong front line. The knights are 03 upgraded, so we could have up to what is that 18 armor, making the priest healing those knights just that much stronger and better. We are looking at FC3S now bringing the fight over to the main base here, not picking up any giant clubs though, as we're now going into high upkeep. All right, training up as many units as possible, going to 89 over 84 supply, losing a couple of farms to go now upside down on supply. That was actually a pretty smart call, trying to go into high upkeep so that he would not be supply blocked for a little bit of time. Meanwhile, the forces of nature are still going into a battle here. Spellbreakers in that front line. Are they going to be able to fight back here? Spellbreakers going up against the Bears. The Bears are going to be able to easily tear them apart because of the armor differences, as the Mountain King has a Sobi mask, losing more mana still. Staff of Sanctuary saving units, as we are looking at a Knight all of a sudden in the way back here. The Knight still trying to stay alive. Well, we are looking at Roar on those Knights as the, well, no inner fire. Knight's going to get taken down again, but there it goes, as the, well, Mountain Giants are still giant and still able to stay strong. Main gold mines have been mined out pretty much, as we're looking at more damage coming across. Mortar teams, one mortar team holding that door right there, finally getting taken out, as the Paladin now trying to retreat back. Paladin very low on hit points. A priest should actually be manually trying to heal that Paladin right now, as the Paladin could then provide additional healing to multiple other units. All right, there goes a bash onto a bear. Bear able to teleport away. Mountain King sitting at level 4 does not throw any more storm bolts. That's a very low hit point bear right there, and he is able to escape away. A Demon Hunter very low in Paladin falls at level 2, and the Demon Hunter is still alive at 271 hit points. Knights, anything focusing down. If that Mountain King just got a necessary storm bolt off, he would absolutely be fine. Mountain Giant down to points. There goes a storm bolt right there. Knight's going to try and get in front. Are we going to see a Staff of Sanctuary? No, we are not. The Mountain Giant going to end up falling. Is it going to give level 5 to the Archmage? I don't believe so. Very close, though. Now 21 experience away. Mountain King sitting at level 4 has the Sobi mask. Mountain King level 2 bash, level 3 Stormbolt. Once that Mountain King, if the Mountain King gets up to level 5, that changes the story greatly. Meanwhile, the Tree of Eternity has now already been transitioned over to the center gold mine, which will, well, throw things for a bit of a loop here. Main gold mines here, only about 5 minutes and 6 minutes, or 4 minutes and 6 minutes left, and that's going to give FC3S the big advantage in this upcoming fight here. All right, mortar teams coming in from the side and being able to just bombard this and shell shock their opponents here. We are looking at the mortar teams perhaps going to try and land a little bit of damage here. Siege, Water Elementals trying to make their way back again, and they're going to be retreating back a bit too far. There's not enough slow to actually cause separation, and the fight is just going to go sideways here as the Ancient of Wonders gets taken down. Goblin Shredder able to finish off many of those peasants here, and now Soin is considering his options on what to do next. We're looking at mortar teams with 3-0 upgrades. They have inner fire for well, much more damage as well. We're going to be looking at armor is increased, damage is increased, 10% damage increase, and a 20 and then plus 5 armor, very large indeed. Mountain Giants also fully upgraded. Knights do have Sundering Blades, inner fire, not on those Knights though, as those Trents now joining back in on the battle. Level 5 now on the Archmage. All right, level 5 Archmage, level 3 Brilliant Aura. Mountain King gonna try and get off some more Stormbolt perhaps, and perhaps Stormbolt that Demon Hunter right now isn't gonna try and do that, as the Mountain King could just end up having all of its mana burn. All right, trying to make its way through, getting in a bash right there. There's that mana burn for 126. Soin not utilizing his mana all that well. It's just turning into damage on that Mountain King, as the Spellbreakers are still trying to fight their way through. Mortar teams able to get in a lot of lobs, as we now see a Tranquility come across. Tranquility coming into the Keeper, or coming online for the Keeper of the Grove, as the Demon Hunter constantly mana burns that Mountain King, denying any sort of stun. All right, there goes a bash onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter does have a scroll of healing, as the units are trying to fight their way back again. Mortar teams could turn around, fire up a lob, try to deal some damage, and back away again. Okay, classic battle for Concealed Hill. Concealed Hill also pretty much king of the hill as well in that center location. So important. Mountain King still low on mana, unable to do very much. We do see Vampiric Aura on that Mountain King, as I mentioned earlier, but the Knights, the Paladin, and the Mountain King, the only units really benefiting from that at all. All right, interesting to note. There is actually a ridge right here preventing you from being able to clear out these trees and then attacking straight up onto that high ground. You need to actually go into the center location, but you could have perhaps just lobbed and attacked down that entangled gold mine. Oh, this is going to be a perfect time to perfect opportunity to buy some time, perhaps take down this Tree of Eternity. The mortar teams are here. Are they going to go straight for the Tree of Eternity? They are going to go straight for it, but a little bit of damage before the Scroll of Town Portal comes in. All right, in comes the battle here. There's a Blizzard. Mountain King pretty much not getting the Stormbolt off in time. There's another Tranquility, and FC3S, well, with that very short Tranquility cooldown, able to keep the army alive and well. More Moonwells could be constructed to try to keep that, well, keep that Keeper of the Grove topped off on mana. All right, Blizzard now coming down. Mountain King in that front line, and the Archmage finally getting entangled. And this could be a strategy to try and buy a burn mana off of that Keeper of the Grove so that there isn't constant tranquilities. All right, units still trying to back away. Mountain King a little bit in trouble, trying to retreat back down here. We're going to see them fight perhaps at another Fountain of Health, as the Mountain King is not close enough to that Fountain of Health yet. All right, Archmage gonna go ahead and rain down Blizzard again. Keeper of the Grove not entangling that Archmage either. Mountain King trying to retreat back, and here we are, a battle at the Fountains of Health to try and fight back. He says, you know what, you can have Tranquility, I'll have Fountain of Health. This seems to be working out for me. Mountain King continuing to heal up as well. Paladin low on mana. Demon Hunter actually low on mana, but there's nothing to really burn, even though the Mountain King has a Sobi Mask and a level 2 Brilliance Aura on him. Knights are trying to fight their way through. Are we going to see some more damage get added in? Yes, we are. Knights are getting taken down as well. Mortar teams are in the back getting in free damage as well, but there are no more Dryads either, as the Archmage now comes in with another Blizzard again. Mountain King still holding that door. Archmage with level 3 Blizzard really starting to maximize that damage. Wow, low hit point bears. Are they going to be able to escape? Staff of Sanctuary, there goes one bear, as the, well, Tranquility is still on cooldown. Are we going to see another bear fall? And Soin doing a great job here, trying to go after these units. This Knight now down to 12 hit points. One more hit should finish him off. That Knight, well, come on, that is a big supply swing. There it goes, getting taken down. There's a bear off to the north, as well as the units are trying to get away. 59 supply compared to 76, and Soin comes away smelling like a rose after fighting at the spa. 76 supply compared to 59, but FC3S now holding on to this gold mine and now up on bases 2-0. All right. This is going to turn into a war of attrition. FC3S is sitting at 67 supply. His army is significantly smaller, but he is mining. The question is going to be how quickly this Tree of Eternity is going to get destroyed. As we're looking at the Goblin Shredder, where are the units going to land? There you are, right there. There's a Blizzard straight up. No entangle onto the Archmage, as the Blizzard is just racking up damage. Stormbolt straight up onto the Keeper of the Grove, and the Keeper of the Grove taken down. Beautiful play by Soin, quickly identifying the Keeper of the Grove, stormbolting it to prevent the entangle from the Archmage to maximize the damage on that tightly clustered group of units. 73 supply compared to 54 right now. Demon Hunter is here. Bears now trying to come back in down from the south, as we are looking at the Fairy Dragon starting to cause a little bit of problems. And as we can see, because there are no riflemen, these Fairy Dragons are actually extremely dangerous. All right, units now trying to make their way, trying to finish things off here. There goes the Fairy Dragon. Fairy Dragon, is it going to actually get taken down? It is Magic Immune Rifleman able to finish it off. And now this Tree of Eternity just going to get shell-shocked itself. Do we see enough priests, though? That is the question. That is the question to follow up. 2 priests to try and heal up this entire army. There's Blizzard now raining down across all of those Wisps. The Wisps are going to get taken out. No mass detonation. And the Mountain King is now at 5. We are at 1-0 base to 0 base now. This Tree of Life may try to make its way to the center. Soin's army Well, sitting at 560, sitting on 560 gold, where are the units going to perhaps try and travel to next? Staff of Sanctuary. Why do you call a flying fairy dragon? All right. We're looking at the Mountain Giants in that front line. Roar is cast. Oh, what is this? FC3S needs another lesson in not fighting in front of a fountain of health with mortar teams in the back. He is creating his own purposeful choke point. There is tranquility on the backside here, and I really don't know who actually comes out healing more units. That one knight, however, not actually under the effect of the Fountain of Health. A little bit of a questionable play as we see the Fairy Dragon still trying to mana flare everything on those back units. All right, more mortar teams coming across, more Blizzard raining down. Blizzard dealing terrible damage. Knight may end up getting taken down by friendly fire Blizzard, and yes, it does go down. I don't think any experience was given to the other side here as a mana burn onto the Paladin. Paladin falls at level 5. All of a sudden, Demon Hunter does have access to Metamorphosis, and that may be enough. Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter, though. Demon Hunter down to 200 hit points. Is it going to try to dive on in here? Yes, it does dive on in, and now fighting in Metamorphosis has range to go after that entire backline group of units. 36 supply compared to 55. Is it too little, too late? As the Mountain King tries to dodge away here, are we going to get some more damage? Another bear could get taken down. There it goes. Mana Flare coming back across. 32 supply compared to 50. Ultimate abilities galore as we're now looking at the Keeper of the Grove. Well, with a Tranquility, Stormbolt, however, comes to an end. He was trying to save the unit. Demon Hunter is still here. 1,500 hit points. Very difficult as we now are now looking at a Scroll of Town Portal to escape. All right, what was this? Level 6 Archmage goes for level 3 Blizzard and level 3 Brilliance Aura over Mass Teleport. Yeah, so Mass Teleport, Keeper of the Groves, Entangle could have been causing problems, and if you're going to be raining down Blizzard all that much, you may not have enough mana for Mass Teleport. 32 supply compared to 46. Moonwells galore, looking for FC3S. Meanwhile, are we resurrecting the Paladin? Yes, we are. That was what the 500 gold was being spent on, as we are now looking to see whether or not that Paladin will make it in play. Tree of Life is once again entangling that center gold mine. Extra gold for FC3S. If you give your opponent too much time, he is going to be able to get back into this game. It was a rather slow mid-game, but this end game with questionable choices and questionable or strong strategies and questionable choices, making this game seem much closer than I thought it would have been. I thought Soin was in major trouble once economically speaking. FC3S didn't need to fight at the Fountain of Health. Fighting at that Fountain of Health when he was up on bases, giving his opponent an unnecessary advantage. He tried to finish things off, only to force him to lose his own Tree of Eternity at that center hall. What is going to be the next bit of play here? We're looking at only 5 workers coming in from FC3S. He is sitting on a large amount of lumber, though, 3,000. Meanwhile, 12 workers for Soin, but if they're just harvesting lumber, there's already plenty of lumber there.
I live to serve all believers.
9k gold in the middle, 15 minutes of mining left, or it was 9k gold last time I checked. 14 minutes of mining left as we're going to be going into this center spot here. Knights with Vampiric Aura, level 2 Devotion Aura, and no Inner Fire, though, as we're going to see this Ancient of War perhaps get taken down really quick there. Mountain King, are we going to see well, Avatar straight up bolt onto the Keeper of the Grove. Avatar now completely immune to magic, as we're going to see now, well, the Keeper of the Grove coming in with that Tranquility, trying to keep all the units alive. Militia purposely trying to back away again. Mountain King continuing the fight. There goes another Stormbolt there, low on mana, as we're going to be looking at a little bit of damage come across. Mortar team should really be going after the Dryads and then trying to maximize all that damage. Meanwhile, Metamorphosis again onto that Demon Hunter, able to get in so much damage. Archmage dangerously low on hit points, down to 179 as it tries to back away. Fairy Dragons may get the kill. Slow poison, and he gets choked up on a chicken. All right, Chicken killing that Archmage right there. Now the Demon Hunter with a Metamorphosis and also Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. FC3S now in dominant control of this game. Once more, Soin is in so much trouble as we are looking at the Mortar teams trying to finish this off. All right, low hit, Paladin trying to fight this back. Look here, are we going to finish off this one Demon Hunter? Demon Hunter, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability coming to an end. We should be looking at another Tranquility here. Paladin has already fallen. There goes the Entangle, and I believe this is going to be all she wrote. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana to really do anything at all, and that is the game. FC3S almost through the game, then with a really strong play and Soin, if he had just dove in with the Avatar of Vengeance first, he would have been immune to mana burn. Then he could have waited for his opponent to cast Tranquility before throwing the Stormbolt. Instead, what ended up happening, Mountain King threw a Stormbolt, Keeper of the Grove got out of the stun, quickly cast Tranquility, and then the Mountain King and the whole entire human army couldn't deal any damage to the Night Elf army while under the effects of Tranquility. Once the battle started tipping in favor of the Night Elf, and then the Demon Hunter also had Metamorphosis, able to apply that Orb of Venom debuff onto the back line of that Mortar team, things just completely fell apart. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.